Welcome to the Blue Fire Digital Network.
Welcome to the Godly Fathers Podcast, a podcast for young dads trying to live a godly life and raise godly children. I'm your host, Morgan Monroe. Let's get into the dad life. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while. When I said that I was going to be doing these less frequently, I didn't think I meant it would be 2 or 3 months. So that is my bad. I have a couple other episodes that I would like to get around to doing that are kind of brewing in the back of my head. So hopefully those come out within the next within the next month. We'll get those other couple episodes going. But yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a quick update on what is going on with me. So main thing is Maya is almost 3 months old now. A week from today, she will be 3 months old. And let me tell you, it's mostly been good days. In all honesty, it's mostly been good days. There are certain things that I think are like when you go into parenthood, you just know are going to be hard. I think there are some things that are obvious. There are some things that I think are less obvious. So for me, I think the main thing has just been balancing the workload with my wife. Because she is still on maternity leave. She doesn't go back for about another month. She got a lot of time off, which we're really grateful for. It's been awesome that she can, dedicate her time to helping take care of Maya. But I'm working full time still, and I basically, just as another update, I have, my YouTube channel, and I have my band. So between that, it's like I have 2 full-time jobs, which, to give a quick update on that, it's that's been really, really awesome too. And for any of you guys who have supported either my band Tundra or my YouTube channel Geek and Seek, I really appreciate you. We just had our first show in like 8 months or something for my band Tundra, and I had to play guitar and sing, which I had never had to do in that band before. And it went really well. And we have another show coming up March 12th. So if you're in the general Kansas City area, you should definitely come out and see that show. It's going to be cool. And we have another guy who we're actually talking to about guitar. So hopefully I don't have to do that again. But that's been going pretty well. And we're kind of trying to make some progress on the record. And then as far as my YouTube channel goes, Geek and Seek, I recently was able to monetize the channel. So I'm actually making money as a Magic the Gathering YouTuber, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's far from a job per se, but it's a little bit of side money, helps make up for the fact that I'm spending, 15 hours a week or so making content for that. So that's been really, really good. But it was really awkward timing with those couple things because those take a lot of my time. Like I said, between the YouTube channel and my band, it kind of makes up a second full-time job. So kind of getting back to what I was saying with awkward timing, this is all happening when my baby is here. And on one hand, my wife has been great. Jen has been great. She's been very, very supportive of me and helpful in helping me do the things I want to do. And I think part of her is, obviously hoping that I succeed in the sense that if I get to a point where I can at least be working part-time as a YouTuber and call it a part-time job and I can work less hours at my actual job, if that happens, that obviously means we're better off as far as childcare goes, especially when she goes back to work. So I think she's, that helps motivate her. But I gotta say, it gets to me that, I spend so much time down here in my office when she's with the baby. And then, I go to work and she's left with the baby. And I know that that's just kind of how it is, right? That was the norm. The norm was dad and goes makes the money and mom stays home with the babies. I know that that's always kind of been more or less the norm. But we are in a time in history where both parents have to work. So she is going back to work in a month, and then that's just going to be really, really hard. We are very fortunate that my mom is going to be my mom's been very upfront and willing to help out with childcare, which is going to save us a fortune. And yeah, so the only other major thing in my family is that we are currently looking for a home. So if you guys are needing anything to add to your prayer lists, we could use the prayers that something awesome comes up that's going to be big enough for our family to grow into, but also in our price range. So we would appreciate the prayers. But I mentioned that a week from this episode coming out is Maya will be turning 3 months old. A week from today is also Valentine's Day. So this is your warning. You can't pretend that you don't know Valentine's Day is coming up now. You got something. Get something planned. Get something planned. Don't make something up on the spot, and don't not get something for. I'm mainly talking to the men, right? The ladies, we don't have a lot of ladies who listen to this show, but the ones who do, I have a feeling that you're probably not going to forget about Valentine's Day. But for the majority of this, of you listeners who are men, I know it's hard to always remember, and not that we necessarily forget that Valentine's Day is a thing or forget that we're supposed to do something for Valentine's Day, but you have to be intentional with whatever it is that you do. And that has been the biggest thing that I have learned the last couple months is I have to be very intentional with my time and what I'm doing. So for Valentine's Day, I think my wife listens to this podcast, so I'm not going to say specifically, but I have a little night, like leave one day, come back the next day, little 2-day trip that I have planned for us. And we're going somewhere that she's been wanting to go for a while, and I'm trying to keep it a surprise just to make it a little extra fun. So I've had to plan pretty far ahead of time. I'm having to book hotels out. I'm going to have to buy tickets for the event we're going to. I'm having to, we can't bring the baby along with that, so I have to find how baby's going to get taken care of during all of that. So that is obviously, maybe that's more than what you need to do for Valentine's Day, at least on average. But I felt like I had to go a little farther than maybe what's necessary, just as a extra thank you for my wife being so supportive of me as I'm, starting to get to, I am technically a professional YouTuber now, quote unquote. So she's been very supportive, and I wanted to give her an extra thank you. But it's also just being intentional with my time. To me, it's probably my primary love language is time. I don't necessarily care so much about what I am doing with someone as long as I'm spending time with them. So for me and my wife, a lot of the times that just means we're trying to get the baby to sleep and we're watching a movie. And then for, like my brother or my bandmates, it's playing music, it's playing Magic the Gathering. It's time is my primary love language. And so just me being more intentional and planning ahead and making sure I actually set time aside for the people who mean the most to me, because I think most people who listen to the show are probably parents, but for those who aren't, plot twist, you have a lot less free time when you become a parent. For instance, my best friend Sean, I talk to him almost every day, at least a few times a week, but I have not hung out with him in person I don't think, since my baby's been born. And he and I used to hang out pretty regularly, like a couple times a month at least. And that just summarizes basically my entire social life. You just have a lot less real free time, especially when you're trying to balance multiple things to where it's kind of like you have multiple jobs, as is my case. So you want to make sure that no matter how little time you have, set time aside for the people that mean the most to you. And that is, time is not everyone's love language. But that doesn't mean it's not important. So make sure you do that. And the other thing is, not just what my wife and I are doing for Valentine's Day, but that's just kind of been what I've been trying to do lately in general. Because again, I spend 15 hours a week, maybe more than that, down here in my office, and then I'm spending another 35 to 40 hours at my job. That's a lot of time I'm not home or available necessarily. So I have just dedicated that Monday nights, I'm just going to try not to come down here at all. I'm just going to try to not have to work on, I don't work on Mondays. And so I'm trying to just not work at all on Mondays down in here for the YouTube channel. So, so just making sure that I have a certain day in the week where I am readily available to help with the baby, to help take a little bit of weight off of her shoulders, let her catch up on her rest. But then also just so that her and I can actually spend some time together, even if it's just watching a movie or going for a walk or, the most romantic date in the world is just running errands because you forgot something last time you were at Walmart, just those kind of things. They mean a lot. And it's important that even when you're married, even when you have kids, you don't stop dating your spouse. I think anyone, in the Christian circle or not, I think anyone who is, in a successful marriage or pursuing a successful marriage, that's something that they're pretty much probably all going to agree on is, even when you're married for, a year and a half almost, and you have a little 3-month-old baby who takes up a lot of your time because she's always eating or pooping or crying because she's tired but won't go to sleep. Just make sure you're always, time. Time's the biggest thing. And that's the other thing is like, we that's like the one resource we have as human beings that we will for sure never get back is time. And I think that further capitalizes the importance of it. And I think that's why it's my primary love language. And I think it's probably a lot of your guys's as well. And if not, you at least understand the importance of it. That's about all I had for you guys today. Real short, real brief. But I wanted to express this thing of time because I can't express how important that is, especially when I have so little of it, which is obvious. I mean, I just went, 2-3 months, whatever it's been, without making an episode of this show. And again, I said that I wasn't going to be doing the every other week thing anymore, but this is still a lot longer than I intended to go without an episode. But again, I have a couple other episodes that are brewing in the back of my head. Hopefully we can get those fleshed out within the next month or so. But if you guys want to be caught up with what we're doing, again, we do have Facebook and Instagram for the Godly Fathers podcast, but you can also follow me on Instagram at the Morgan Monroe Band. That's probably the best hub if you just want to keep up with me and my family. That's probably the best place to be just because, I share stuff for this podcast. I share stuff for my band Tundra, my YouTube channel, Geek and Seek. If you just kind of want to know what's going on, that's the best way to do it. And if you want to support me in any way, the best way to do it is honestly through Geek and Seek or my band. You can either buy merch for my band. You can, we have a merch store on Bandcamp, on Geek and Seek. We have a Patreon that we are trying to set up better. And then we have a merch store that's going to be running here starting, I think next month is when we're opening the merch store for that. If you care to support, that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having just great lives. I hope you guys are doing really well. Sorry it's been so long since I've checked in. I hope that, if you have any specific topics you want me to tackle, Because that's the other thing is, time is the biggest thing. But the other main reason I don't do this as often anymore is just my knowledge of what is worth talking about. So if there's anything specific you want me to talk about, please let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave a comment. If you're not watching this on YouTube, go find the Instagram or Facebook post for this episode and leave a comment there. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a great couple of weeks. I will hopefully see you very, very soon. God bless y'all. Thank you for listening to the Godly Fathers Podcast. If you'd like to support the show, head over to anchor.fm/the Godly Fathers Podcast to make a donation. Make sure to follow our podcast and leave a positive review, as well as share it with a friend who you think might like it. You can keep up to date with us on Facebook and Instagram at the Godly Fathers Podcast. The song used in the intro and outro of this podcast is The Pit by my band Tundra. And until next time, have a great couple of weeks, and God bless.